So I started off the build, obviously, of the Tronxy X1, and I've gotten a couple steps in, which I'll have to go grab my iPad which has the directions on it. But first thing I noticed was they switched the base holes are all for M4s, I believe they are, and countersunk. But then as soon as you get into the piece that goes for the extrusion, that goes into here, these are actually M5s, and the M5 heads don't fit, so they can't be countersunk. Hardly any grip there, and then you don't have that many threads. So I'm gonna try and fix that, and got a bit, and we'll see how that goes. But I need to go get the directions, so I have those. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I am going to now see if I can figure out a way of doing this without screwing it up. So the main reason I am recording this is not because I want to record this, but mainly because of my daughter, who is over in Japan, that bought a printer because she liked my printer, which I have a CR10 over there, and she wanted to get into it, and then she got a really good deal. I found a really good deal and figured, what the heck, why not have a second printer? And it's a kit, and I'm waiting on my Prusa Mark III, which I ordered, and it's not in yet. So we're going to give this a whirligig. Yeah, I don't want to drill through. What is working though? It is doing what I wanted it to. Can't see. Alright, so as you can see, it is now countersunk, and it's going to hold much better, and we have way more threads in the top. So that's awesome. Now let's see if we can get the other one to work as well. Quite enough. Obviously, what I'm being careful about is that it's already drilled and countersunk, and I don't want to accidentally, because it is plastic, I don't want to go through and go too deep, and then suddenly I got a big hole, and that'll never work. Because that would be really embarrassing, and there's no way I'd put that on YouTube. I don't care if it is just for my daughter. So hopefully it'll work well. That looks like the head's going to fit in just fine. And the rest of it, because it almost fits. They almost did a decent job. That may not be too bad. Now the other piece that I did notice is the directions actually are pretty darn impressive for I paid $118 plus taxes and shipping, of course, but they're pretty darn impressive. There's no issues whatsoever. I mean, the CR10 really didn't have anything, but it was only a couple pieces to put together. But anyways, one of the things that I did notice was this extrusion give me. It doesn't tell you anything about this, but if you'll notice, one side of it, I don't know if you can see it or not, but one side actually has a little bit of a relief built in, and the other side does not. So if you put it on backwards, you're not going to be able to get the head of your screw in there, which is this guy. If you put it in wrong, it's going to hit like that, and that's bad. So you want to make sure you have it in the correct side, so when you put it in, it actually countersinks. So anyways, see if we can get this bad boy in here. So again, make sure you do it the right way. So anyways, like I was saying a little bit earlier, my daughter is in Japan. Just got done, actually pointed out that little problem to her, and she kind of talked me into deciding to do a little video. And if I can find a few things that help her out, then I'll be happy, because it'll make her happy. And really, basically, it's us building printers together, and we'll both have a Tronxy, and she gets to learn if she really likes it or not, or is just trying to do it because her old man is. But she's into like the cosplay, and she likes anime, so it's kind of a good thing. She can make little trinkets, and I think she'll make good use of it. I really do. So this one, I'm on actually step 3 of this, which just is tightening this bad boy down. And this is all pretty important, because it's the foundation, if you will, of the Z for the whole printer, of course. This is the screwdriver that came with it. Not a fan. But it doesn't work bad. It was free. So there's that. And then the next thing they want you to do, because I'm trying to follow the directions instead of just winging it, because that's what she's going to do, not the wing it part. So now they're going to they want us to be doing the brackets. Well, this is another problem that we ran into, that if you put the screw into the angle, this is all well thought out, except for, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the screw head does not give much room. So it's going to be really hard for it to pull in tight. It'll work if you don't have anything else, but if you do have another option, it's probably better to grab some washers, which I happen to have some M4 washers from a little kit that I bought off of Amazon. It was like, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks for a bunch of little spare parts for metric standards, some screws, and a bag that I can never effing open. So you do realize I'm going to have to actually edit this out, because I can't open the damn bag. Finally. So I only needed 2, not 30 for now. I'll just leave those out like that. So now if you actually put washers on here, it's not that bad, because that's what I did with all these others. Because as I stated, I started this and I'm not going to rebuild it just to do a video, because there's a million videos out there, and the only difference between them and this is they're probably better, and it's them, not me. So, but as you can see, that gives it way more to pull on. So it's going to be a lot stronger. You'll be able to tighten it up a little bit better. So probably pointed out in all the videos that have been done out there. But now I'm pointing it out. So I'm sure I pointed it out much better. So basically you just hook these things in, put them kind of angled straight in, and now they're there. I'm going to do this top one first. Use a real screwdriver-ish. And as you tighten them, you're not going to be able to see it probably. I don't know how you're going to be able to see it, but down inside here there's actually the nut, and the nut actually turns as you're tightening it down. And that's how you know you got it. I just basically got it slightly snug. And then this one I'm going to now do as well. And all I really do on these, just because I like to be sure, you do a quick visual just to make sure it actually turned and locked in. Because again, this is actually pretty important. This whole base thing is, it's like anything. If you don't build a solid base, the rest of the printer's not going to print well. And it's already plastic based to begin with, so don't skimp on the force, and also don't just rush through it. Every minute you spend on this end will save you as you're fighting bad prints. Got pretty lucky on the CR10 though, because the CR10 is actually a pretty darn good printer, but trust me, because some of my friends will be able to tell you I had plenty of problems, but a lot of them were also self-induced, because like anybody that wants to be a tinkerer, just can't leave well enough alone. So anyways, as you probably saw, I went from the bracket piece to actually putting in this bolt, which was an M5 40 millimeter. And all this is really doing is actually providing, because we have two screws that came on the bottom, you got an angle bracket now, and now this is going through into this extrusion right here. So it's going across that way. Again, this is entirely creating all the strength for the whole printer. Well, for the base going up Z, and it's gonna, I'm assuming, I haven't actually put it all together obviously, but I'm assuming the rollers are going to go along this axis here for Y, and Z is going to be riding up. So you're pretty much, the weight of everything's going to be hanging off of this. Actually, no, this is just going to be the base, so the Z is going to, or the Y is going to be coming up. So it's probably the smaller one that'll be the Y. So again, nice and snug, without stripping. Alright, so that was it. And what do they want you to do next? Now we need an L-shaped acrylic block. I'm not going to bore you, so I'll be back once I find it. It's in this pile somewhere. Alright, so I found it. It looks like an L block and it looks similar, so awesome. Now I got to try and peel this off. Ooh. It's always fun. And you get two. So obviously this is not an all metal printer by any means. It is definitely a acrylic, laser cut probably. All the edge, everything looks really nice. But for, I mean, I got it, like I said, $118 on Hobby King, I think it was, is where she found it, or we found it. Pretty nice though. And the directions, I mentioned the directions are good, but I liked that they gave on the card, and they seem to be pretty good. And it doesn't say exactly where to secure them from, so I'm assuming it's going to be on this front edge because it'll never make it otherwise. I assume. Yeah, it's got to be. And you know what happens when you assume, right? Yeah. So. I don't know if these, that'll never work. Hello. Probably will end up fast forwarding through this because otherwise I think it'll put somebody to sleep. My daughter's pretty handy, so I'm sure she'll be fine. But again, the key is you set these up, and once they're all in there, then we'll line them up, pop them in. So I'll be back. All right, so they're all on here, and now we're going to arrange them a little bit, and then plop them in place, and see if we can get them to do what they're supposed to. Yep, so that one turned. It's not a lot of threads on these. The other ones had a lot more threads, obviously, but they're captured here, so you're just gonna have to go by feel and hope you get it down in there solid and snug. They turn pretty good as long as you have them lined up well. So we'll see. As you see the base, which probably goes this way. I'm not sure, this must just be another brace, so they're really bracing the heck out of this thing. Again, like I said, it's kind of the meat and potatoes, if you will, of the whole thing. This would be the weak spot for sure. Really hard to get your fingers in here. They want to frustrate you. That's what I see. That's what I'm going to say anyways. All right. So far so good. What's next? So now it wants us to do some stepper motor pieces parts, which is exciting. So I will get all this stuff together and then I'll be back. All right, well, it basically wants to get all these pieces parts together, and one of the things it asked for was an end stop, so it doesn't appear that any of them are any different, and they're not labeled in any way, so I'm just going to pull one. I may cut all this off, all this out, because it seems like it may be a little bit boring to watch, but we'll see. You never know. Maybe somebody wants to see me find a loose screw. So basically, we need a bunch of screws. So we have our limit switch, we have acrylic mount, and now we need some M3s, M4s, T-nuts, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Interesting. M2s as well. So I'm going to find a whole bunch of hardware and I'll be back because this is going to take me a while. Okay. I did learn something as I was digging through here, getting kind of confused. Not confused, but you're going to be looking, you're basically needing to get M3s, M4s. M4s are the ones you've been using in all the T-slots. M3s. Oh, actually, I needed one more of those because the M3s are the ones that are actually going to be holding motor, mounting the actual motor, and then you needed M2s. And I was struggling to figure out which ones to do, and I couldn't find any of them. But then I found the nuts, and you can see these go right in. But you also notice they're black. This is black. Possible to see. Anywho, found them, and now we're gonna have more fun peeling junk. Really no idea why this is so awesome. Peeling stuff is always cool. So far everything seems to be pretty good. I mean, the only real problems that I've seen so far is the countersunks for those M5s in the back of the base plate. Everything else so far, not that I'm that far into it, mind you, seems to be pretty good. Not bad at all. Alright, so now this is going to go this way. This, it looks like you need the motor. The X and the Y are the same, which is usual. They're all 42s. And then this right now has this two little grub screws in it. And we'll see which direction it needs to go. But for now it just was sitting there. No damage on anything. So I don't know which way they want the wires to go. I don't see it there and there, so I have two options and I'm sure I'm going to pick the wrong one. I'm going to go in this way. Methinks. Because I don't want it to go down. Because there's three, and it's going to basically sit up here. So yeah, we're going to go off to the side. What the heck? If I'm wrong, you can laugh at me. If I'm right, yay me. So I ordered the Prusa. I wanted a Mark IIs, but I just could not get myself, for whatever reason, I like to think maybe I'm psychic, I don't know. And I just, when I originally was getting into it, a buddy of mine at work, Mike, started talking to me about 3D printers at work for my group. And it kind of, next thing you know, I got the bug again, because I was interested in them a long time ago, but they were so expensive. Just couldn't justify it. I had too many expensive hobbies the way it is. But anyways, he started talking to me about it, and next thing you know, we thought it would be interesting to have for our equipment engineering shop. And then I started getting interested and started looking. Well, I wanted the Prusa Mark IIs, but I don't know if it was Mark II or Mark IIs. It was about 5-6 months ago, something like that, probably the Mark IIs. But it had like a 12-week lead time. And another buddy of mine, Tim, had one, and he was putting it together and whatnot. Actually, I don't think he had it, or he just got it, or I don't even really remember. I don't think he actually had it yet. But I didn't want to wait. I'm kind of a now guy sometimes. So I ended up going with CR10 on Mike's advice, and ironically he also told me to, well, suggested GearBest. I got lucky, bullet dodged, everything went fine. That's T, yeah. But it came in, no issues. They didn't ask for more money, they didn't ask for another credit card, which is what they're kind of doing a lot now. It was perfectly fine. Came in 10 days, something like that, I don't know. No issues whatsoever. So, I don't recommend them though. Why? Because I've seen too many people in the forums getting messed with. Could be real, could be changes in shipping, don't know, don't care. I don't recommend them. Not when you can get them in any other way. So I said, oops. I ended up going with the Hobby King or whatever the heck it is for this one. And had no issues. Daughter's having a little bit of trouble getting it shipped overseas. I mean, it's working, but she's military, so that whole APO or whatever the heck it is. So it's working, but she's getting a bit frustrated. She wants it yesterday. It's not coming yesterday. She's still working on it, but we'll get there. She'll be fine. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Should I put this on before? I'm going to regret it if I put it on after. I'm going to put it on first. It's a lot easier to do now than it is afterwards, so we'll see how that works. Crap. The hell? That's interesting. So they, instead of having the nut, well, instead of the screw being countersunk, that's just annoying. They have the nut countersunk. It's just plain weird. Yeah. Seriously glad that I did this before I put it down in there. Yeah, well, grabbed, so I guess that's good. Shit. Don't do that. But I didn't lose it. So I definitely would recommend putting this little beast in before you hook it into the T-slots. So this would be the probably the y-axis ish. Yeah, it would be the y-axis. So this would be the y-axis end stop that I'm putting on here now. Doesn't seem like it's going to get in the way of anything. This looks fine. This looks fine-ish. Should be fine. Fine, fine. And you line up the T-slots just like before. Then you screw it up and realign them again. And see how we do. Now it doesn't say how far to go with this. Oh, it actually tells you to do the pulley to the motor shaft, tighten the grub screw, which I haven't done yet. Then assemble the motor and the Y. So it's telling you actually to do it exactly the way I was doing when all else fails. Unlike Tom, read the directions. I'm a supporter of Tom, so great guy, he seems to be. Just doesn't like directions. Even when it's a Prusa, and Prusa's in the channel, yelling at him to read the directions. So I'm guessing this is probably going to have to get adjusted because there's no adjustment in the end stop, or they may use this for belt tension, maybe? I really don't know. I'm guessing belt tension, which is interesting. So we'll see. So this bad boy, assuming is going to run through there and up to that. So let's see what kind of cool tools they came with. Some nice cheap wrenches here. Oh, look at these cute little clips. Oh, where is that? As they say, that's not a clip. Ah, it's a clip. Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, I know. Whatever. Okay, so that's good. Now let's see which one of these bad boys is going to be the size we need. Obviously, I'm guessing the smallest one. And I'm going to use a screwdriver to help center this. I'm sure I'll just have to redo it later. At least for now, it is not the smallest one. Let's find the right size and then we'll worry about it. There we go. So we'll go there. And then I'm just use a screwdriver to help line it up with the T-slot. Kind of centered. I'm sure we'll have to do it later. But for now, this will be... There's no flat spots, are there? Oh, there is a flat spot. See? There is a flat spot on this. So make sure... See if I can find... So, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but there's actually a flat spot on the shaft, and you're going to want to make sure one of your grub screws has actually into that to keep it nice and snug like that. Doesn't really matter which one, just pick one and make sure it goes in there. So let me get this aligned again. Again, I guess it probably doesn't matter. My cat's annoying me. Doesn't know exactly who the heck I'm talking to. Little does she know I'm talking to her person, which is my daughter. Because I don't know if I'm going to put this out for everybody on YouTube or not. We'll see. Probably not. I don't want the world to see me looking stupid. I like to keep that in the family. Alright. OCD, check. Check. Alright, so we got our pulley on. We have the grub screw tightened. We got her assembled. We have it mounted. We are golden. Life is good. Step 5 is complete. Ew. Oh my god. Too many things. Alright, so we did that. Oh, exciting. I'm going to just get put to bed. I was going to call it for the night, but maybe I will. I think I'll bail out of here, get the pieces together, but I'll wait for the next... before I do the next step. I'll do that tomorrow. Grandson's birthday's tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll actually get back to doing this or not. I'm supposed to ride Saturday, so I don't know. Saturday night, tomorrow night, sometime like that. Otherwise, maybe it'll be all the way into Sunday. Anywho, we'll see. Thank you much, and I'll be back when I'm back.